All right, well, you'll notice that I will be having someone sitting next to me for the next couple of weeks. Matt filling in for Moses while he is away.
He's out of the country.
He's out of the country.
He'll be back, though.
Yes, so Matt will be joining us on the desk. Now, we are talking trucks, and history repeated itself this weekend in Dewberry.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic week. On Friday, you had Vern Nolan posting the best time. Then on Saturday, Jamie Labicane's turn. And then throwing solid weekends by Shane Nolan, Brian Labicane, and BJ Carey. And there are a handful of drivers all within a second of each other on Championship Sunday. And a beautiful afternoon in Dewberry for racing. The Rapid View Rocket already has 4 Dewberry titles under his belt. You know you'd like to add another. He enters as the Day 2 aggregate leader and is in Heat 12.
There's the sound of the East Delta co-op horn, and again the barreling down. We got a barrel down on the Labicane, top barrel down. Vern Nolan going to be tough to get that rail spot away from off that number 1 barrel. Vern Nolan, Bob Jack sheet metal is the rail runner. 3 wide around that second corner. BJ Carey on the far outside, right smack dab in the middle is Jamie Labicane. The leader by a length is Bob Jack sheet metal and Vern Nolan. Turns him for home at the PWM steel finish line. It's got him by a length right now, but he's got some company moving in. But it will be a wire-to-wire run for Vern Nolan and Bob Jack sheet metal.
Nolan crosses the line first for a 3-day total time of 3:25.37, earning the man from Rapid View the 5th Dewberry Show Championship of his career. The CPCA is in Wainwright next weekend for a 4-day event starting Thursday evening at 5 o'clock. Well, after a successful stop in its first year, the PBR will be making another appearance for the Redden PBR Challenge. The event will take place on Thursday. Now, event chair Morgan Mann says this year's lineup of riders should be one of the best, as past champions and the #1 rider in Canada will be making the trek to Hillmont.
In this area, we have some rodeo purists or people that follow the PBR fairly closely, and they know the riders, and it's I mean, there's good value just in the excitement for people who have never been to one before. You're right up on top of the action, and it's an exciting event. But for those that follow it, they will recognize the guys coming in, and it's as good a card as you can have.
Once again, Crude Master Transport is on board as a major sponsor. Owner Heath McDonald says being a part of this event is a no-brainer.
To be on board with a committee like Hillmont has, and the community support around Hillmont is huge. And as I said last year, anytime that we as Crude Master Transport can be in association with the Redden family, you know, it's a bonus for everybody.
Now, last year, Wade Redden was absent due to playing in the Stanley Cup final, but he will be in attendance this time around.
We want him to be part of it. He's been so good to our community as Heath and Tracy and Crude Master being those two, their support to Hillmont and our arena and minor hockey in Hillmont, it's unbelievable, and so we want to have both of them there.
Gates open at 5:30 with the event getting underway at 7 o'clock. While 2 golfers punched their tickets to Nevada on Sunday as the Kit Scotty Golf Course held the final day of the RE/MAX World Long Drive Championship qualifier.
Number 3 is at 383.
Oh, you're going to Worlds.
The event ran all weekend as people took turns hitting long bombs, and in the end it was the same pair that qualified on Kit Scotty last year who drove it the furthest. This will be the 3rd straight time Jeff Freeborn has grabbed a spot in the World Championship, and he loves the atmosphere. The 33-year-old Calgary native is a former professional baseball player who made the transition to golf a few years ago and says competing in long drive competitions just made sense.
Kind of like it's like a home run derby of golf, right? You're just trying to swing as hard as you can and hit home runs or hit it 400 yards.
Dan McIntosh made the trek from Hyde River for the 4th year in a row, and for the 4th straight time, the 24-year-old qualifies for the big event. He feels more confident than this year and has gained valuable experience over the last 3 trips.
First and foremost, hitting the grid, obviously. See guys come out, hit, you know, it doesn't matter how fast they swing or how hard they hit. If they don't hit one in the grid, then they're not going through. So it's hit the grid as many times as you can, and you hope one rolls out.
On Saturday, the Prairie Pirates swept their doubleheader with the Saskatoon Cubs. The 2 teams hit the diamond again yesterday for the rematch. We'll pick it up at the tail end of the game number 1. The Pirates blew a 3-1 lead in the top of the 7th, only to tie at 6-6 in the bottom half of the inning. So this game needed extras. In the top of the 8th, the Cubs went a quick 3 up, 3 down, giving the Northwest bunch the opportunity to win it. Dylan Flash is up first for the double P, and he smacks a single to center. He'd then go from first to third on a wild pitch, giving Jesse Stanfield with a man in scoring position with no outs with a chance to win it.
And Flash gets the third on the pass ball. And Stanfield drives in the game-winning run.
It's a walk-off hit for Stanfield as he secures the 7-6 decision for the Pirates' 3rd straight win. The two teams took a little break and did it all over again, and there was no need for extras in this one. The double P put up runs in every inning except the 4th, including 8 in the 6th, to cruise to a 17-3 win. They scored 17 runs in 6 innings, led by Kevin Petruck's 3-hit and 4 RBI performance. The Pirates will travel to Saskatoon on Friday night for yet another game against the Cubbies. Staying on the diamond, the under-18 Lloydminster Rebels were in Leduc this weekend for the 23rd annual Shakers Tournament. The Rebels went 4-1 through the round robin, earning a spot in the playoffs. However, they would be eliminated after a 5-1 loss. Nonetheless, still a solid showing by the ladies. Well, the Lloydminster Vandals continued AFL play on Saturday as they traveled south to take on the powerhouse Calgary Gators. It was a team in the midst of a rebuild up against the defending champions, and it went exactly as you think. The green and black couldn't muster much against a very strong Gators team as they get shellacked 45-zip. They now look to put this one behind them and focus on next week when they should play what should be a winnable, or at the very least a competitive game against the 0-2 Edmonton Stallions.